Storms don't just damage homes. They leave families vulnerable. They leave communities struggling to rebuild. 80% of roofing companies fail within the first 2 years, 96% within 5 years, leaving behind broken promises and unfinished work. Thousands of communities are left underserved, waiting for help that never comes. But for the companies that do last, most are just about profits and show up for a sale. But for some, they show up for something bigger. Because restoration is not just about roofs. It's about restoring hope, restoring opportunity, and restoring community. Home. It stands as our shelter, a safeguard for all that we hold dear. But when age and element collide, that stands as our first line of defense, it can fear the storm.
Attention, we are expecting heavy rains and hailstorms this evening.
But when the storm hits hard, we hit harder. We don't just face the storm, we drive straight to it. We harness its fury like a mission to fortify against the unpredictable. We wear these 4 letters like a badge of honor. That's why we aim for nothing less than the apex. Restoration above the rest.
Starting a company 18 years ago, there's been plenty of ups and downs. It hasn't been easy. When I was a kid, I didn't come from money, but I came from a real good family background. And now that Apex has, succeeded, it's just given an opportunity for us to give back to the community.
People like Jim Stringham, they see the need. They see the desperation in many families, and they say that's not okay. The beautiful thing is that he's actually doing something about it. Well, I love baseball. I've always loved baseball. It's America's pastime. It's in my blood. The idea behind what we're doing is just to give kids, parents, families in our community really good memories playing baseball over the summer. We know what amazing memories and lessons we learned through baseball, and I want to contribute that back to our community.
I can remember when I was playing baseball, I was actually a coach, and my son was coming up, and it was coach pitch. I remember pitching to him and having him hit the walk-off home run, and that's something stuck with me for life. And now that I get the opportunity to help them out, help other dads coach their sons, it's a great honor.
We're proud to have the families, the community, and the support that we have with our sponsors to be able to make this league about what it should be, about the joy of the game.
I grew up loving baseball, and it's something I did at a young age as well. It's something that I think is important. Sports, youth sports in general, is something that I think helps build character for later on in life. The organization does a great job in bringing baseball to the forefront and to kids that might not be able to have that ability otherwise.
We are a completely self-funded program. We do not have national support. We're not funded by any tax organizations or any larger charities. Because of that, we require a lot of support from other organizations. We were chasing sponsors all the time. That became very burdensome for us. A lot of the time people would commit to a sponsorship and they wouldn't pay, or it would become hard for us to find as many sponsors as necessary to come up with the funds necessary to make this program possible. And then one day, people from Apex came to us and asked us one very simple question: how can we make this league better?
I grew up playing baseball, so I have a passion for it, just seeing other kids playing baseball, and maybe some families that can't necessarily afford it, gives them an opportunity to play.
I knew right away exactly how they could do that. They could make our volunteers' job easier, and they could clean up a lot of the issues of us having to chase other people for money. So Apex came in and offered to sponsor the entire league with one financial support check. And that has made things incredibly better for our league. State Line Baseball has always had a policy, at least as long as I've been in charge, to never turn away a kid because they can't afford to pay the fees. And that, of course, is a burden on the other families that pay. It's a burden on our fundraising opportunities. It's a burden on our volunteers. Many times it's volunteers that would step up and cover those costs. We don't get to say yes to somebody without literally incurring actual financial costs to make that possible. Things like insurance and uniforms and umpires and field prep and all the different things that come along with making this league possible. When somebody comes in and we say, yes, come and play, and we're not collecting fees from them, now with an organization like Apex stepping in and sponsoring the entire league for us, it makes it a lot easier for us to budget for the year and say, yes, we can afford to allow these kids to play, and we don't even have to think about it, which is a beautiful thing for the entire community, knowing that it's not going to take a lot of work, it's not going to be a burden on anybody else, and we have Apex to thank for that.
It's pretty humbling when, you have a mom and a dad that, don't necessarily want to ask for help. When they get some extra help, it really goes a long way, and you can see it on their face.
We love what we do, and we're just going to continue to pour into it as long as we're needed. The kids getting an education based on the skills that they learned as a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kid in our league. These things have long-lasting impact on their community, on our education, on families, and it's all based on one thing: the joy of the game. I can see an 8-year-old kid walking into a Beloit Sky Carp game, wearing their Apex jersey, and dreaming of themselves playing on that diamond as a professional ball player, and we're creating that opportunity.
We see a lot of great impact in the community, and it's not only just through our patrons and fans that come to the game. It's also through our direct community programs where we donate our time, where we donate to local charities. Beloit Sky Carp are the High A affiliate of the Miami Marlins, and we play at beautiful ABC Supply Stadium. I mean, our founding partners are really the reason why we're able to function. ABC Supply comes out and sponsors a Make-A-Wish night where we can bring out 30 to 40 kids and not only help make their dreams come true, but also bring their families out and do that and raise money for the cause. The most rewarding aspect of what we do is the impact we have on families. And Apex is a key vehicle, that helps us do that. Ryan Rydell introduced me to Apex. We started meeting and talking about, what goals that they have as an organization and how we can, potentially mesh in with that.
When we decide to give back to an organization, it's more of a decision on whether it's important to us in our heart.
They're very focused on their goals, and it shows. That's also good for us. We want to be associated with companies that care.
When I look back to when I was a kid, the things that stood out: playing baseball, being involved with my dad, him coaching me, the friends I made through baseball, the organizations that we've given back. It all stems from my childhood and me wanting to repeat that for my kids, for everyone's kids.
We want to give as many kids the opportunity to experience the joy of this game as possible. Because of Apex, we are able to say yes to them without requiring additional steps, without telling them you have to go and sell raffle tickets or you have to show up and volunteer for something. If you don't have the time and you don't have the money, we can still give your kid a chance to make these memories.
My dad is a veteran, and I saw what Vetrol was doing for the veterans, and obviously I have an attachment towards them because of my dad, and I see the passion that serving the country brings, and I wanted to be part of that. My dad was in the Army. He served 3 years for our country in Vietnam. And I wanted to give back. Seeing the vets being brought to DC really hit home. But I heard the story, and he did a great job, and I was like, I make for half.
When I just think that's another piece to us.
Yeah.
Too, you know?
And I would love to do this. I mean, this is amazing. Being part of it and actually in it is,
Yeah.
They start everything in Beloit. And they travel all the way down to DC, full guided escort the whole way. Everything's paid for, hotels, gas. They just show up and get on the bus, and then they go down to DC.
Heard about this trip, you know, the trip that Martin's put on a couple years ago. And several of my friends told me, David, you gotta get, you know what you gotta do that. You know, well, I said, I'm 78 years old, and, you know, I don't know if I wanna do that or not. So but anyway, they kept at me a couple of times and decided to do it. And that's why I'm here today. And you know what? It was the greatest thing that I think that they did, and what's gone on here in the last 4 or 5 days is almost a miracle. It's just like I was back right in the army, you know, all the camaraderie and all the friends that I've met over the years. And it's a wonderful life and wonderful people.
Mark had reached out to me, and I think it was like 10 years ago, and I've been a full supporter of them ever since.
It's amazing to see so many different people, ex-veterans. Of course, they got 3 different wars here, and World War II is getting less and less. That has elevated in their minds memories from the past, which most people don't care about, really, or don't think about. It's just like when somebody dies in your family. Once the funeral is over and the gifts are given and the sympathies, the hugs, I probably did the same myself. You don't ever see them again. And they don't ever want to talk about it. And you like to talk about it. But nobody want to bring it, not even family. It's good to see so many of these people wearing their caps. And you think you're not the only person who remembers some of the things that took place. But like I say, most of these people are support groups of the infantry. They never have really, like, well, we're here, they have no idea what's going on. Any more than you would, you know, of what actual combat is like. And the loss of life and whatever, all that shenanigans that go on with war, people killing each other for no reason at all. Well, I suppose it's comradeship, meeting others who have similar feelings that they like to see the sites that the government has put up, and especially a special memorial to us after 60-some years. Like, that's what I mean, no big deal. All of a sudden it's a big deal. And so you try to get into the feeling that it is a big deal, that they have recognized World War II with a big memorial in Washington for the first time after all this time.
The most rewarding part of all of what we do with Lions is the impact that we make on the community.
It was special to me because my uncle used to help run it, and it was kind of our upbringing. When we were little, we always volunteered our time.
Lions Club International is the largest service organization in the world. Our focus is to serve our communities and do what we can to help our communities. Where there's a need, there's a lion.
Logos on it.
Awesome.
It's on both sides and there and the back and the front. So that's awesome.
It is.
Amazing. Amazing. Yay.
Our biggest fundraiser is Old Settlers Days. I'm 62, and I remember Old Settlers Days back when I was like 4 and 5 years old.
Welcome to 2024 Apex OSD. Let's go, baby!
OSD is such a great time. We love sponsoring, not only because it's a stable community event, but because of what it means for the state line area.
And everything that we fundraise and make goes 100% back into the community.
Without Old Settlers Days, there's no way the Rockton Lions Club could afford to give so much money to so many organizations every year.
Every meeting we have something that comes up that people need help with. The need is out there greater and greater. And then of course at Christmas time we help kids. Last year we helped 136 families.
Do you think that Santa celebrate?
It means a lot. I've heard stories on what it can do for a family on Christmas when maybe the funds aren't right that year. To have that support is a lot for a family.
Halloween. Does he watch scary movies or they give him bad dreams? Would he dress?
First year I was involved with it, I think we had 30 families, and our last year was 136 families. Over 300 kids we help at Christmas. Apex's support of what we do for Wimpy's specifically is huge. And I was looking for a place to hold it, and I looked at all the open storefronts in Rockton area and happened to stumble upon an open space next to their in their building, and went into their office and just said, "Do you know who owns that open space?" The receptionist said, "Well, let me talk to the owner and see. That is our building, but I'm not sure, what the plans are." And I hadn't even left the parking lot, and I got a call. "Can you come back? The owner wants to talk to you."
A lot of my employees are from the community, so when they get a chance to give back and be part of something like that, they usually dive right in.
So I went back, and lo and behold, Jim Stringham, his uncle, Jack Stewart, who worked with Wimpy's on the police department and did the whole program, helped carry it on once Wimpy couldn't take care of it anymore. Jim's like, "Well, what do you need? Tell me what you need." And that day when he said, "You can come and use my office, you can come and use that room, I will do whatever I have to do to make this work for you."
They actually come to our facility where we organize having food delivered there, presents delivered there for, I think it's around 130 families. My guys and myself get the opportunity to actually make the deliveries with the presents and the food. With Wimpy's and all their volunteers coming into the office each year, it really does help create the culture of Apex. It started, when I started the company out, me and my dad started it, and then eventually my mom was in it, and also my sister was in it, so it was always a family thing. Some of the biggest challenges that I ran across is providing for your employees. In the earlier years, that was tough, not being able to have the right people work for you and being able to pay them what they're worth. If I fail, which in turn means they're not able to provide for their family. With the success of Apex, it feels good now that we made it over the hump. 18 years. They say most companies fall within the first couple of years. So with the success that we've had, it's a great feeling to be able to support 45 different people that work for Apex and their families. A lot of people say you're lucky, but they don't see the 18 years of not being able to sleep at night. The stress on my family. When I come home, I can't just shut it down. Other obstacles that we've overcame is the changing in the industry. The insurance companies are changing. We have to adapt. We have to be smarter than them. We have to be able to know their policies for the homeowners. The industry, the competition, there's more and more roofing companies out there. We need to stand out. We need to have the better service. We need to have better results for the homeowners. We've been blessed with a lot of great employees, a great community that supports us. We've went from, 5 or 6 guys, now we're up to 40 some people, full office staff. I remember when I started the company, it was in my parents' basement, and now we have, a 5,000 square foot office that we operate in. We do strive to have a close-knit family type of business that involves everyone, and that we give back to the community, and that we involve other family members. That helps Apex be who they are. And now in our employees, we encourage them to bring their kids to the office to help out with donations, to help out anything that we're helping out with the community. We have different outings that we always involve their kids with. It just helps to bring Apex together. After we reach a goal involving more than just an employee, involving their family, because what Apex asks is, you're taking away from family time, so we want to make sure that we give back. If the husband or wife is not there all the time that they're working for Apex, we want to make sure that we involve their whole family and bring them on a trip. We have dinners that helps bring the family together with the significant other. We have company trips, whether it's a ball game or whether it's going to Mexico or Punta Cana. It's been a long, steady growth over 18 years. We've been blessed with a lot of great employees. The community is what helped form Apex. We all grew up around here, a different great community that supports us. Being able to give it back to the different organizations, it helped build Apex.
When you are investing in your community at the level that Jim Stringham is, it can't be just about putting your logo on a shirt or getting your sign on a billboard somewhere. What you are getting is the pride in knowing that you're helping build a community.
If a company is invested in those kinds of things, it tells me, one, that they're likely invested in their employees, which is a great partner of ours, and they're also, invested in the local community.
He does it because he wants his community to be successful.
All right, honey, let's go.
Don't forget your bat.